Mr. Elohim, the Mellow Mystic, Lord Emmanuel, Chief of simonicanation, Spiker Star Seed, the wheat in the virgin's hand. And if you don't know, now you know. You know what I mean? Uh, Shouts out to everybody who reached out about the sovereignty course and donated. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Omario Smith. If you in need of a parasite cleanse or detox, I believe he has products available for you, and so get with him on that. But I wanted to go into the right to travel course. You know what I mean? And drop a couple of tidbits. You know what I'm saying? And because we in the age of gnosis, man. Champagne toast in the age of gnosis. Ancient scrolls in the flesh. Pages open. That's where we at. And if you ain't picking up on the energies right now, I don't know what to tell you. You got to be real sleep. You got to be super sleep. You got to be under super programming to still be asleep during the greatest awakening of all time. But anyway, we're gonna get into the right to travel course, lesson 1.1, which is spiritual and natural basis of travel. And then I'm probably gonna go through 1.2 as well, getting into some of the definitions, the legal terms, you know what I'm saying, that trap you into their jurisdiction. So this is the foundations of lawful travel. So before nations, states, and corporations existed, man and woman were created sovereign and free, beings of divine essence, born on the land, subject only to the laws of the Most High and nature. This lesson establishes your innate God-given right to move freely across the earth as a living soul, unbound by corporate licensing schemes and artificial jurisdictions. Now, there's three key principles. One, natural law and movement. You were born with the freedom of movement. No man, state, or institution gave it to you, therefore, none can take it away without consent. Notice it's without consent, because if you do consent, then they can take away your God-given right, because you gave them consent. So travel is a natural right. Driving is a legal term rooted in commerce. We won't get into the definitions of some of these terms in 1.2. But the key distinction is that you are not engaging in commerce, but exercising a private right. Number two, sovereign status versus corporate subject. The state presumes you are a corporate entity, a person operating in commerce. When you use a driver's license or register your car, that's what you're doing. You're giving them jurisdiction. The state presumes you are a corporate entity because you've taken their driver's license and you've registered your private automobile to the state. But as a simonican national, for example, and a living man or woman, you do not drive. You travel under your inherent right. Your conveyance is not a motor vehicle. It is private property used for non-commercial purposes. So the spiritual foundation of sovereignty. That's the third. Your right to travel is sacred. It reflects the path of spiritual unfoldment, just like the journeys of Abraham, Moses, and Yahshua. Movement is a divine pattern. The exodus, the pilgrimage, the vision quest, the walk of the initiate. So now let's get into some legal and judicial recognition. And we'll get into that and more into 1.3. But Kent v. Dawes, 357 U.S. 116 in 1958. It was ruled the right to travel is a part of the liberty of which the citizen cannot be deprived without due process of law. Shapiro v. Thompson, 394 U.S. 618 in 1969. The right to travel is a fundamental right under the Constitution. The Declaration of Independence in 1776, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, God-given rights that no man gave you, so no man can take it away. So I'm gonna go in a little bit into lesson 1.2. In this lesson, we examine how legal terms are weaponized to convert natural rights into state-regulated privileges. By redefining everyday language such as driver or vehicle, governments shift the traveler into a commercial jurisdiction where licensing, insurance, and registration are presumed mandatory. Here, we decode the legal fictions and restore the lawful meanings. So, the distinction between law forms. You've got natural law and common law, and you've got statutory law and commercial law. Now, natural law and common law recognizes man and woman as sovereign. Statutory commercial law assumes a legal person status. Natural law and common law, movement is a right. Under statutory commercial law, travel is regulated by, is a regulated activity. Driving. And under natural law and common law, property is held in allodium. Under statutory or commercial law, title is held via registration or state ownership. Under natural law and common law, no obligation to license. Under statutory commercial law, licensing is mandatory for commercial activity. For commercial activity. Keep that in mind. So you got some key definitions from Black's Law Dictionary and federal statutes. The first one, driver. Driver is a legal term from Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition. If you don't have one, you should get one. It means one employed in conducting a vehicle, a person who drives as a profession. Now, if you doing Uber, if you're a bus driver, you got your CDL, you need a driver's license. You know what I'm saying? You driving big trucks, you need a driver's license. You driving a taxi, you need a driver's license. If you just operating your private conveyance, you don't need no driver's license because you're not doing commerce. But A driver is someone operating a motor vehicle for hire or commerce. You are not a driver if you are privately traveling for your personal purposes. Now, the definition of motor vehicle in U.S. Code Title 18, Section 31. The term motor vehicle means every description of carriage or other contrivance propelled or drawn by medical power, by mechanical power, used for commercial purposes on the highways. A private conveyance is not a motor vehicle under statutory law if it is not used in commerce. Now, the term person is a legal fiction, a corporation, a company, association, a firm, a partnership, a society, and a joint stock company, as well as an individual. So there's all these different terms for a person, but most notably a corporation, a company. So you are not a person, but a living man or woman. A person is a contractual role in commerce. Accepting this term submits you to commercial jurisdiction. If you accept the role, because it's a corporate show, and if you want to participate as one of the actors in it, then you can. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. And that's as far as it goes. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to. But you can take on the role. You know, when they summon you to court, they tell you assume the role of defendant. You have to play that role. If you accept and don't challenge their jurisdiction and you consent to their jurisdiction, you play the role. But you don't got to. So the trap of presumption. Most people are unknowingly identified as persons operating a motor vehicle engaged in driving because they carry a state-issued license, have registered their car with the DMV, and use state plates. They consent to commercial regulation. This creates jurisdictional transfer from natural law to statutory jurisdiction. That means you just went from, you waived your sovereignty and you accepted the role of the person. You consented to it. Presumption of guilt, and also presumption of guilt when traveling without compliance. Now, reclaiming your proper status. Your use of their terms binds you to their jurisdiction. Use your words carefully. So to lawfully travel, identify yourself as a living man or woman, not a legal person. Use a private conveyance, not a motor vehicle. Affirm that you are traveling, not driving. Withdraw from all state contracts that presume commerce. So I'm going to stop right here and come back with 1.3 in a little bit. Champagne toast in the age of Gnosis. Ancient scrolls in the flesh. Page is open.